For me personally, I'm tired of reading about car accidents. I'm tired of reading about injuries. I'm tired of reading about people, quite candidly, being killed on the roads. I'm tired.
That's Palm Coast Vice Mayor Teresa Pontieri. Palm Coast City Council members are calling for lower neighborhood speed limits as part of a broader traffic calming strategy discussed at their meeting this week. Council members voiced strong support for slowing vehicles on residential roads to improve safety. Speed studies found reductions were warranted only on local residential streets, not collectors, and council members wrestled with the potential $1.2 million cost of changing signs citywide. Palm Coast Mayor Mike Norris and Acting City Manager Lauren Johnston.
I thought we already had the cost from the last council when they were saying it was like $1 million.
Yeah, it's 1.2 and it wasn't factored into the budget for this current year.
Council members debated how to fund the project, possibly by shifting money from the city's microsurfacing program or other projects. Acting City Manager Lauren Johnston.
For next year, if we were to have any extra money, you would need to prioritize whether we're doing the microsurfacing or we're lowering the speed limit.
Some council members agreed lowering speed limits could remove the need for physical speed bumps altogether. Vice Mayor Pontieri.
I'm with Councilman Sullivan on this. I think that we kill two birds with one stone if we lower the speed limits on the residential roads. And we don't need traffic calming. You don't need speed bumps if you've got a speed limit of 20.
City staff will bring back cost estimates and funding options by spring of 2026 as Palm Coast looks to make its neighborhood safer, one street at a time. Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Friday, October 17th. In other Palm Coast City Council news, council members addressed animal shelter operations and community partnerships after hearing public feedback about conditions at the Flagler Humane Society. City officials emphasized that the Humane Society continues to provide vital services for lost and abandoned pets while operating near capacity. The city manager confirmed a joint city-county task force is working to identify potential new shelter sites, with an update expected in December. Vice Mayor Pontieri volunteered to serve as liaison to the Humane Society Board to strengthen collaboration, transparency, and communication. Next, the council reviewed the Flagler County Cultural Council's $77,000 in arts grants for the new fiscal year, supporting groups such as the African American Cultural Society, City Repertory Theater, and Palm Coast Songwriters Festival. Members stressed the importance of fiscal accountability while reaffirming that cultural programs enrich quality of life and boost economic growth. Finally, the city discussed its backyard chicken pilot program, which has issued 21 of 50 available permits since June. With mostly positive results, the council voted to keep the pilot program active for another 2 months while staff finalizes a proposed ordinance, which would formally allow backyard chickens in Palm Coast. The ordinance is expected to come before the council for review and a vote in December. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, conveniently located right off I-95 at exit 311.
He found out that in Flagler County, we don't play around.
Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley on apprehending a minor after a string of burglaries.
There were several car break-ins in western Flagler County during the overnight hours of August 28th and 29th. The sheriff tells us the suspect is a minor.
A 16-year-old from Live Oak in Suwannee County, Florida.
He may be a minor, but he's going to find himself in adult court.
And our state attorney has now charged him as an adult for the car burglaries where a gun and other valuables were taken.
Sheriff Staley agrees with this decision.
I want to thank State Attorney R.J. Larissa and his staff for making the decision to hold this young man accountable for his actions. Now it's up to the courts to handle it appropriately as he goes to trial or if he pleads guilty.
He hopes this tough-on-crime tactic serves as an example.
This is a warning for criminals that want to come from another county or even another state and prey on our community. We're going to get you and hold you accountable to the fullest extent of the law, as this 16-year-old just found out.
The suspect is one of 4 arrested in this case and faces many felonies, including 5 counts of armed burglary, 5 counts of grand theft of a firearm, and burglary of an occupied dwelling. He's being held without bond at the Volusia County Branch Jail. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Liz Ryan.
The weekend is here and there's plenty of family fun to be had in Flagler County. This is Stacy with Fun for Augie Kids.
Join the Friends of the Library for a book and bake sale featuring great reads, sweet treats, and a classic car show. All proceeds support library programs and enhancements. Palm Coast Elks Lodge is hosting a free youth soccer shoot open to kids from toddlers to teens. This fun contest promotes healthy activity and community spirit through one of the nation's fastest growing sports. Bronx House Pizza hosts Slices for Smiles, a fundraiser for Little Smiles featuring special guest Vanilla Ice. Enjoy great food while every dollar supports local kids in need. Enjoy a Sunday of live music, food trucks, a festive kids zone, and family fun at Music in the Gardens, hosted by Friends of Washington Oaks Gardens State Park. For more on these events and others, please visit us on our website at fun4augiekids.com. Have a great weekend.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Licio with your WNZF local sports update.
Rich Carroll and I return to Sal Campanella Stadium tonight for the WNZF High School Football Game of the Week between the FPC Bulldogs and the undefeated Yulee Hornets. The Bulldogs currently sit at 11th in the region, 3 spots from the final playoff spot, but there's still time to make a push to November. Coach Patrick Turner says his team remains focused on the things they can control.
When we execute, I think that we can play at a high level like we did against University and times against Fletcher, so we got to execute.
Linebacker Zayden Green was named Central Florida Prep's Defensive Stud of the Week. Coach Turner on Zayden's growth.
Zayden is stepping into a role of kind of the leader of the defense and being vocal, so that's going well. And
starting quarterback Ladarius Simmons is also the team's leading rusher since stepping in for the injured Caden Birchfield. Turner on his signal caller.
He kind of owns that position right now, and getting him to own it and take the leadership role of that has been something he's had to work for, and I think he's doing a better job of that.
That game kicks off at 7 p.m. Tomorrow, join Rich and I on a special post-game edition of the Rich and Mike Sports Show at 11:30 a.m. right here on WNZF and on the Flagler Radio app. The Matanzas Pirates have the week off. They sit in 9th in their region, 1 spot from a playoff berth, but are currently 6th in the Florida Invitational Tournament standings. The FIT was announced 2 weeks ago by the FHSAA and will place the 16 highest-ranked teams to miss the playoffs in their own bracket. Coach Matt Forrest says, at this point, every game is a playoff game for his Pirates.
Find a way to win. That should be your mentality, is I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. When you're playing meaningful games in October, like mid-October, that means you're doing something right. So I think our region's stacked, but, to be in the mix with 2 games remaining is right where you want to be.
The 5-3 Pirates travel to Menendez next Friday in the annual battle for Pellisier Creek. WNZF is your home for local sports, with updates Mondays and Fridays. From the Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.